Okay, a quick question for you guys. What is the world's biggest UK band? Now, names like Radiohead and Coldplay might first come to mind, but I assure you that not far behind are the Arctic Monkeys. In only a few short years, the one-time upstart punks from Sheffield have turned into one of the world's biggest bands, more than living up to all that initial hype. Back home, they're virtual superstars, and Alex Turner has only gone from strength to strength as a songwriter. After a detour into a big cinematic sound with last year's Last Shadow Puppets, Turner rejoined the Monkees to create their third and heaviest-sounding record to date, the curiously titled Humbug. The album was made on both sides of America, out in Joshua Tree, California, with Queens of the Stone Age's Josh Homme on board, and in Brooklyn, New York, with longtime collaborator James Ford. So there's all that to talk about and more, as Noisemakers on Noisevox sits down here at the Standard Hotel in New York City with Alex Turner and Matt Helders, 50% of one of Britain's finest, the Arctic Monkeys. So here at the Standard Hotel in New York City, and between the intimate room size and the weather outside, I figure we've delivered Europe as much as we can here in New York for Matt and Alex. And guys, good to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you, mate.
Yeah, how have you been? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been great. It is very European, though, like you were saying.
Yeah, even down to the separate toilet. We don't normally have that. You know?
No, you've got to walk across.
Yeah, exactly. Have you been in town for a while now? This sort of thing?
We came on Sunday, I think. Sunday?
On Sunday?
Yeah.
You're kind of semi-living there from what I hear.
Right, yeah. That's the rumour.
Yeah, there's the rumour. I know you were here earlier in the year as well, working on the record.
Oh, yeah.
You fans of New York?
Yeah, it's a great place. That was like first time we'd spent like a big chunk of time here. Because usually we've been and played, obviously, but just in and out. So when we recorded, we were here for like 3 weeks or something. So it was good to.
I feel like a lot of English bands I meet over the years, they fall down into the prefer LA or they prefer New York sort of thing. Do you have a preference?
I like both. It's like chocolate and cheese.
Which one's which?
LA's cheese.
In many senses of the word, I would say. And actually, this is a nice segue into the fact this is something of a bi-coastal record you made too, which I want to get to in a second. But first, before anything else, I don't know if there's a single word in the English language more associated with one particular literary character than humbug.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, truly, if it's one word that almost anyone I know would think of one particular individual when I say that word. Can you talk about the choice of the title, when it came about, and sort of how it came about?
Maybe that makes it braver. The theft. The theft from Dickens. No, it was only like a couple of weeks ago. We always have like dozens of titles, like when we've been, but they're normally sort of pretty ridiculous for the most of them. Like, I mean,
Lesbian Wednesdays.
Lesbian Wednesdays.
That was like a second. I wasn't shortlisted for a second record as well.
Yeah.
We came back in for a third, and then we didn't learn his lesson.
And then
did someone shut down that Lesbian Wednesdays title?
Not as quick as you'd think.
No, really?
No, that was like up there until something else came along. Really,
I really remember wanting to call his last record "No Artificial Flavour" for a minute, which is fucking old. But we were really like, that's cool. Should we spell it F-L-A-V-A?
Yeah.
Diddy would approve.
Yeah, exactly.
Then where? Like, do you remember where and when the moment that the word humbug sort of came to mind? And where was it?
When we were in Berlin, not long ago. I think that's when we were having something to eat and we were talking about it and finding out what it meant.
There's some cracking alternatives. Yeah. If you thesaurus humbug, there's I'd say probably the best results. Taradiddle,
dupery.
What is it?
Dupery, like to be duped.
Oh yeah.
Bilgewater.
That's another one. And I think one was just Bosch as well.
Bosch,
yeah. These are all words.
Dupery is definitely a favourite though. Yeah. We wanted to call it, we think maybe we could call it dupery for a minute, but then we didn't get the sort of ambiguity that you get with humbug, because of course there's the stripy peppermint sweet.
which we don't really have
Well,
here. Yeah.
and you know, we were saying perhaps our first 2 records are more like jelly babies, or to put it maybe into your maybe like a Sour Patch.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Which I've become a fan of recently.
Have you? Yeah.
Those and the Swedish Fish.
Oh yeah, Swedish Fish. They're like gummy bears.
Probably just in favour of Swedish Fish.
Really?
Slightly more, but yeah, perhaps our first 2 records are a little less hard-boiled.
And these are little sort of harder type candies.
Yeah.
I'd say.
You still get a soft reward after a bit.
It's a bit of an investment. You have to.
There is some softness in there, yeah. But the Scrooge connection, not really. You guys aren't Scrooge.
That was obviously that's the first thing a lot of people think, but
it's more the.
it was more the sweet
and it also, Humbug, which I always thought it meant something, just the way that Ebenezer uses it, I thought it meant something sort of worthless, but it actually is something that's sort of deceptive, or like you're saying, dupe.
To be duped.
To be duped. And, for guys who like to not always necessarily give the most sort of straight answer type interviews, which I guess I'm about to find out whether that's today's mood. That sort of works. And it's also self-deprecating in the way that the Who the Fuck EP was it's in that same spirit, I guess.